You elect your representatives, and your representatives are meant to, it's in the word, represent you. Someone who has never lived in your state got a timeshare there, really so she could check a box when she runs for president, which she also has not earned. This is how you know it's the party of the elite. They don't say, hey, I'm the people's choice. They say, it's my turn. And let's go through the top 5 times that Democrats have cheated. And they have a history of cheating. This is how they do it, okay? And the references are available at louderwithcrowder.com. This is not the first time. So here's the first example. Al Gore and Florida, the recount. Now, to people who don't know, because back then it was in vogue to hate George W. Bush, and I don't think he was the best president by any means, but I'm certainly glad that he was president compared to Al Gore when 9/11 happened. You can comment below if you disagree with it. I think he made a lot of mistakes. Certainly don't like his post-presidency, and he seems like a swamp creature. But at that moment in time, I said, I'm glad there's a Texan and not a guy who's in a back room with a Swedish masseuse.
Yeah, he would have blamed it on global warming.
Yes, he would have.
Buildings melted.
So what happened is they were using some exit polls, these networks, and they declared Gore the winner of Florida in 2000 while votes were still coming in, okay? So you may have heard this, and Kevin Costner did a film about it, Recount. What you have heard, and then I will tell you what you haven't heard, the cheat. The Gore campaign pushed for recounts. So they're saying we want a recount, but the thing they don't tell you is, really, I don't want a statewide recount. I want a recount in just these 4 Democrat counties. I want to recount here and here, but I don't want to recount this here or there, really the rest of the, and maybe we could get half a county. If we could do 4.5 counties, that would ensure a free and fair. Let's just recount this. I've given you a picture. It kind of looks like my face.
And that is why I propose this evening a way to settle this matter with finality and justice in a period of days, not weeks. First, we should complete hand counts already begun in Palm Beach County, Dade County, and Broward County to determine the true intentions of the voters.
Okay. So that seems a little odd, just those counties. Instead, the Supreme Court ruled that a proper constitutional recount is what would be required and that it couldn't be done in a manner that was timely enough. He wouldn't have won a statewide recount anyway, just to be clear. So if you believe that Al Gore was going to win Florida, it's not true. It's not true. We've actually had Ted Cruz on who was involved with those legal proceedings. So that was a cheat right there where this is back when Democrats were allowed to question elections. Also 2016, where Elizabeth Warren, Klobuchar, and Jimmy Carter had the Election Integrity Advisory Board, I believe it was, because they were saying that the election was stolen by Russia. So they tried to cheat there. Only count 4 counties and hold up the results of the American people. Here's another example of how they cheat. And I'm just picking national figures because there are plenty of local elections. Hillary Clinton, don't throw up in your mouth. A lot of you don't realize that before Hillary Clinton ran for president, her only qualification, effectively, was being the one person not having sex with Bill Clinton. She was married to him, but not having sex with him. And so that was her primary qualification. Until they said, well, hold on a second, we know your political ambitions, right? You've basically been together since college because of your political ambitions. So we need to get you a Senate seat. All right, I know what you're going to say. Okay, well, that seems pretty tough if she was in D.C. We go back to September 1999. 1 year before the New York Senate election, the Clintons purchased a $1.7 million home in Chappaqua, New York. 1 year before. They said, let's just get a timeshare there, and you can represent the good people of New York.
And 2 months after her opponent died.
Well,
voluntarily
under completely natural circumstances. Yes.
A natural plane crash. It died.
Which
self-immolated.
Yeah, brake pads don't even exist on planes. I don't know how they go out. But the point is,
it happens.
Hey, it happens. So here is actually, in case people have forgotten, some pretty funny reporting from AP on the Clinton New York home purchase back then.
What do you think that the family will do for business around Chappaqua?
I think it'll be positive. I mean, in general, I think there's a kind of a mystique to having the president live in your town, and I think it'll be generally very positive. It'll wear off after a while, but it's interesting for now.
Now,
he blew him 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, is that a violation of the rules? Not exactly, because you only technically have to be a resident of New York at the time of the election. But do you actually believe that is the true intent of this constitutional republic? This is not a democracy. It is a representative republic. You elect your representatives, and your representatives are meant to it's in the word, represent you. Someone who has never lived in your state, got a timeshare there, really so she could check a box when she runs for president, which she also has not earned. This is how you know it's the party of the elite. They don't say, hey, I'm the people's choice. They say, it's my turn. That's really what it is. It's my turn. For all of his faults, nobody can argue that Donald Trump was a coronation from the established RNC.
No.
They didn't want him. You made him the nominee, and you made him president. And right now, if the election were held today, you would make him the president again. Hillary Clinton was nobody's choice. She was installed. She was coronated. It was her turn. Same thing with Joe Biden. They ended up voting for him in the primaries because you know what happened is the media kept pushing for him. There was really, it's Joe Biden. You have the super delegates. Like, well, we saw what happened with Bernie Sanders last time, so
might as well.
It's a lost cause. It is not about. I can't think of a party that represents their own constituents less.
No.
Which brings us to the third example. Bernie Sanders, 2016, the primary campaign. Now, Bernie Sanders hosted this very show, an entire show. You can go back and search it. And back during that election, I focused a lot on Bernie Sanders because I said Hillary Clinton is the coronation. Bernie Sanders is the movement candidate.
Yeah.
And it concerned me to see someone who was a self-avowed socialist gain that much traction. But the truth is, he was very popular with the people, and Hillary Clinton was not. The DNC rigged. Let's just be clear, rigged the 2016 primary for Hillary Clinton. Okay, let me give you some numbers here. That primary, Clinton won 591 superdelegates. Sanders got 48. Jeez. Now, just in case you don't know, Democrats, they are the only party with superdelegates. And I could get really complicated, but it basically means that your vote doesn't matter. Okay? Superdelegates don't have to endorse who their voters choose. They change the rules every now and then to try and save face. But superdelegates basically means like, yeah, sure, your vote, that's cool. We pick her. Let me give you some examples here. Early on in the primary, Iowa, okay? Clinton won by 0.25 points. She got 23 delegates, okay? They're in Iowa. Hillary Clinton, though, got 6 super delegates. So she got 23, Sanders got 21. She received 6 super delegates. Sanders got 0. 0.
Yeah. And just remember, super delegates, these are party bosses. These are
party
governors.
bosses.
These are people that are high up. This is the establishment of the Democratic Party saying we're going to do what we want to do.
They can choose who they want.
Yep.
And then New Hampshire, which these primaries were held very, very close together. Sanders won by 22 points. So 0.25 versus 22 points. He got 15 delegates in New Hampshire. Clinton got 9. Clinton got 6 super delegates. Sanders didn't. So just to be clear, it didn't matter what happened with Bernie Sanders.
No.
Hillary Clinton got the super delegates. You can win by such a wide, it was completely
22 points.
Insignificant because Hillary Clinton was going to be the nominee. I don't like Bernie Sanders. I don't like socialism. I think that he honeymooned in the USSR is weird and communist. But that's just me. But in their rules, they screwed the guy. And then they changed the rules again, the Democrats, in 2018. And according to the emails released from WikiLeaks, the DNC leaders mocked Sanders behind the scenes. So here's actually the DNC communications official, Mark Paustenbach, writing, wondering if there's a good Bernie narrative for a story, in which is that Bernie never had his act together, that his campaign was a mess. In 2017, I don't know if you remember Donna Brazile, who also helped hand questions, I believe, to Hillary Clinton. I can't remember if it was Hillary Clinton or if it was Barack Obama. She was one of the moderators or interviewers at, I don't remember if it was a debate or a town hall. Someone can fact check that for me. But Donna Brazile was there at CNN, and she handed the questions over to help a Democrat candidate. Of course, she was a DNC chairwoman. She said, all right, the primary was rigged against Bernie Sanders. But she wasn't the only one. Elizabeth Warren was asked about this same thing.
Do you agree with the notion that it was rigged?
Yes.
Oh,
A politician gave a very straightforward answer.
yes.
She was annoyed that he asked the question as if you didn't know.
She's like, well, yeah. Wait, are we live?
Duh.
They did it and they didn't care.
Yeah.
They did not care what the people said. You cannot win a state by 22 points. 22 points is a blowout. Donald Trump barely won some of those states by 22 points, and he was going up against a lady who wrapped her arms around China.
Yes.
Okay, and he was the presumptive nominee. I'm just saying, that's incredible for them to do it in the full view of the public and say, it doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah.
We're going to put the person in that we want, period. Same thing's happening right now.
Also, Kamala likes to do it in full view of public because people like to watch.
Oh, voyeurism.
Yep.
Oh. Ooh, there she is. Voyeurism. Heels in hand.
Unburned by protection. Now,
That's a cultic.
another example. I guess we're on the fourth one. The Hunter Biden laptop. This is another example how the left has cheated the American people. They cheat by doing away with rules, by not following the rules, by subverting democracy, or simply by using their power to lie to you until the democratic process is complete. October 14th, 2020. New York Post reported Hunter Biden's laptop. If you don't remember, this included all kinds of incriminating information, not only on Hunter and him smoking crack and comparing his penis to M&Ms, which is weird,
Mini M&Ms.
but also some business dealings with the big guy and his dad and political corruption and, money exchanging hands for favors with foreign entities. We'll never know because our intelligence agencies, the ones in charge of investigating it, said, nah, there's nothing here. So in case you've forgotten, Rudy Giuliani showed the laptop right here on this show for the first time live. Have you seen the pictures?
This guy.
Have you seen the pictures of him with the crack pipe?
John Wright, I have.
Oh, wow. Does he at least look like cool?
Unfortunately, I can't show them to you right now, but this is the hard drive they're on right there.
Oh, my word. But I had just a small monitor. I remember thinking, that's not... At this point,
What's
it was this mythical... I'm going, that's the actual laptop? Now, 5 days later, 51 former intelligence officials signed a statement saying that the laptop was Russian disinformation. So let me ask you this. Are they idiots or are they lying? Now, I would argue, considering that Rudy Giuliani on that same show said they can come and take the laptop. There's so many pictures of penises, but they can take the laptop. He was like, it's available to them. They raided his office and took everything but the laptop while they told you, the public, that it was Russian disinformation. They, at the very least, could have verified. Completely buried on social media. This, to me, is a huge cheat.
Yeah,
because
it's not even just the 51 people that signed that. It's that, this came out in the Twitter files that they did.
Yep.
Basically saying that the United States government was reaching out. The White House was reaching out to tech companies saying, "Hey, be prepared. There's Russian disinformation coming. Be on guard. Be vigilant for us. Make sure that you do this." And basically,
no, it wasn't the White House. It was the intelligence committees.
No, all of them. They had emails from the White House. They had emails from the intelligence communities. They had, the entire administration, almost from top to bottom, was basically reaching out saying, "Hey, be prepared for this," knowing that the Hunter Biden laptop was the thing. They had it.
Yeah.
They knew about it at the time.
Yeah.
So that when it happened, they could say, "See, that's what we told you was going to happen." Now, remember, that's disinformation. It'd be a shame if you lost Section 230. I mean, I'm kind of inferring the last part, but you don't have to make the threat.
Right.
You're the government.
Right. Yeah, the government and the three-letter agencies said, social media, you need to bury this. And then that's why they released this official report from intelligence officials or former intelligence officials, so they have a little bit more distance, saying, this is clearly Russian disinformation. Right? Outlets out there didn't report on it at all, like NPR. I wonder why, government-funded. And of course, when I say government-funded, I mean Democrat-funded. Let's be very clear. Here's why that matters. That affects the democratic process because 17% of Biden voters themselves would have changed their votes if they had known about the laptop. We've already done the math. That makes it a landslide walk-off for Donald Trump in all of those swing states. Now, in January 2024, well, the DOJ confirmed it's true.
Yeah, better late than never.
Sorry, laptop's true. It's real. Do you mean that you finally did this? Oh!
Boom, boom.
Oh, wow. That is his penis.
Yeah, they knew.
Oh, this is his laptop. Do you actually believe that they didn't know until this year? They weren't able to confirm it? They did that in order to prevent you from voting on the relevant information. Because at that point, they wanted to install Joe Biden.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, Donna Brazile, just to kind of come back to that, 2016, she gave questions to Hillary.
She did, to Hillary.
Yeah,
that's
she
right.
gave it to Hillary Clinton. And by the way, one other point, Hunter Biden actually sued Fox News for releasing those images from his laptop, thus, again, additionally confirming it before the FBI, I think, and just dropped the lawsuit, I think, within the last couple of days.
Right.
So
because it's not hacking, it's no longer your property. If you give it to somebody and don't pick it back up,
it becomes their property.
I don't even think it was password protected.
It was cocaine.
Yes.
You had to do a line to open it.
Yeah.
Hello, Hunter. How can I help you?
Your self-respect will self-destruct in 5 seconds. I don't know why they did on Mission Impossible. These things all self-destruct.
I don't know.
Like just tell the guy to break it. All right.
It's easier.
Here's the fifth example. All these references are available. I'm just walking through examples as to how they have cheated so that you know they are going to cheat again. It is their way. I'm not saying that Republicans don't cheat. And I'm not saying that Republicans don't bend rules. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the Democratic Party is based on cheating. It's based on not respecting rules. It is based on party, absolutely first, the will of the people. I don't even want to say second. Irrelevant. And I mean that, irrelevant. You want to drive an SUV? No. You want to ensure that your vote counts? No. You want your borders to be protected? No. You want to run a bit? No. You want to go out and buy something from your local shop during COVID? No. You want Donald Trump to be president? No. You want Bernie Sanders to? No. You don't get to choose anything in the party. Ever.
Except abortion.
That's true. Then it's your choice.
You can't choose life, though.
Yeah.
You have to choose abortion.
And that's completely congruent because they love controlling other people's decisions. And in that case, you're controlling another life because you don't have 20 fingers, 20 toes, 2 hearts, and 2 brains. So here's the fifth example. Actually changing voting laws illegally. Did this in Pennsylvania, 2019. Pennsylvania passed Act 77 to allow mass mail-in voting, expanding a bunch of voting parameters. And the Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf said, you may now vote by mail-in ballot unless you qualify as an absentee voter, in which case you must vote by absentee ballot. If you want to vote by mail, you must apply for a mail-in ballot. You do not need to provide a reason or excuse if you want to use a mail-in ballot, which of course was not the reason prior to that. You needed to have a reason or you vote in person.
In the Constitution of the state Constitution, it basically laid out the reasons that you could do that. Not wanting to get outside is not one of the reasons.
No.
Not wanting to just, stay home. Also, ballot harvesting and lying, that's also not a reason. That's not a good reason.
No.
And the vast majority of people in Pennsylvania that did this, I think it was like 2.6 million people did it. Only 600,000, I'm just a little bit off, but there's only 600,000 Republicans that voted by mail. Mm-hmm. This was primarily the Democrats' plan to get more people to vote so that they could take care of the election.
And when people say, hey, well, there's no such thing as people voting without ID. Really? Then why is it a ballot initiative next election? I believe in Nevada, several states, to require ID to vote.
What about people who voted against it just recently, basically requiring somebody to be prove, not just say, check a box, prove that they're a U.S.
Well, it's racist. It's racist to require identification. So a Pennsylvania court, they even ruled that act violated the state constitution. Period. Just bring up the overlay. I don't even necessarily need to read a quote. You guys can go and see that this was ruled a violation of the state constitution. But then it went to a Supreme Court who overturned the lower court saying that it didn't need to be amended. So, yeah, we can probably have universal mail-in voting. And, of course, that's still in dispute. We really should expect nothing less from the party that insists these are women. Yeah.
Watch Louder with Crowder live Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.